Hello everyone, my name is Serge and today I'm gonna do my assignment number 5. I got like 3 tasks to do. The first one is to build a calculator that's gonna help us to use the different operator that we know in mathematics, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we're gonna ask the user to give us 2 different numbers, and we ask the user also to choose an operator that he want to use, and then based on the operator that he chooses, the code is gonna give us the answer. So the first line of code is to ask the user to put in the first number, and this line right here is to ask the user to put the second number, and then after that we're gonna ask the user again to choose an operator that he want to apply to those 2 numbers. So we're gonna use if conditions, and first one is basically saying that if the operator that the user chooses is addition, we're gonna call this method and print out the answer. So I got different classes that I created, and the first one is addition, and it got a static method that I called add. This method is gonna help us to add these 2 different integers that the user is gonna enter. Second one is subtraction, and got another method that is also static, and the multiplication also is another class that I created, and it got another method, and this time is not a static method, is not static method. The division as well, we got another method that I call div, and it's not also not static. So as you can see over here, if the operator is going to be equal to multiplication, to the addition, we're going to call the method that we called add, and this method is static as I said, and we are calling it from our main method, which is also static. That means we don't need an object to call the method. For the subtraction, it's also the same. Is a static method. We don't need an object to call it. But when it comes to the multiplication and the division, those 2 methods are not static, as we are calling them from a static class. We're gonna have to create these 2 objects so that we can be able to call them. So let me just run my code and see if it's working. Let me just try 6 as my first number, second number maybe 8, and then let me see the answer that is gonna, no, first of all I'm gonna have to choose the operator. Let me just choose the addition of these 2 numbers. As you can see, I'm getting the right answer. So my code is running successfully. Let me jump to the second task. The second task is to ask the user to put in a string, and then these lines of code are gonna help us to make a reverse of that string. So then we got also an if else condition right here. Is the first one is gonna help us to analyze the word and see if it's gonna stay the same. If we try to reverse a word and it stays the same, normally we call it a palindrome. So this is what the first condition is gonna help us to assess. if the word doesn't change, then this line of code is going to print out this statement saying it is a palindrome. If it's not a palindrome, it's going to print out that it's not. So let me try to run it. Okay, let me just try a word, black. As you can see, the system is analyzing it, and it find out it doesn't stay the same, which means it's not a palindrome. Let me just try another word and see if we got a different answer. Let me try that. Oh, that is a palindrome. Indeed, when you try to reverse this word, it's not gonna change. It's gonna stay the same. So our second task is also working very well. Let me just try the last one. In our last task is to ask the user to put in a number, and these two line of codes are gonna help us to assess the number and tell us if it's an even number or if it's an odd number. To get an odd number, normally when you take a number and you divide it by 2, and the remainder is gonna be equal to 0. In that case, we know that we have an even number. So if the remainder is not equal to 0, basically if it is equal to 1, we're gonna have an odd number. So let's try to run this code and see if it's working perfectly. Let me just try 6. As you can see, telling us it's an even number, because the remainder is equal to 0 when you divide this number by 2. Let me try another one. Let me just put 7. 7 is not an odd number, because if we divide by 2, we're going to get a remainder of 1. So this is the end of my assignment today, and then as you can see, all my code my program are running successfully. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you in my next video.